as we said, we're going to encourage you to rise up and stop the violence. You may do that by becoming involved with 1 Billion Rising. This is a around the globe event that's taking place Thursday, February 14th. Mindy Mendelson, Wendy Lindahl, and Sally Gebler. 1 Million Rising. We're talking about how we can make a difference. The 1 billion, did I say million? 1 billion, excuse me if I did. 1 billion rising. And the reason 1 billion, am I anticipating this is because 1 in 8 or 1 in 7, something like that?
It's 1 in 3 women, and the number statistically, that means that 1 billion women will be either raped or battered, abused within their lifetime. Women and girls, we should say.
Okay, now again, I said around the globe, this is going to be taking place. How did we connect? Ladies, let me give your background. We know Mindy is the promoter of this and very much involved in it. But ladies, let's hear how this happened.
Well, I had a personal experience of a loss of a very good friend of mine, Laura Peralta. I wrote the foreword to her book. She's a really dear person, also a dance therapist.
Now, she was the victim of domestic violence.
She was in November, just this past November.
Of 12?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so I was really in a lot of grief and mourning, and I saw the video of 1 Billion Rising. And it was rise and dance, and because that was my connection with Laura, was we're both dance therapists.
Oh, yes.
That I talked to Sally about possibly getting involved.
Does that feel like destiny to you?
It does. It gave me something to do with the grief over what had happened to my friend and a wonderful ally to be a part of this. And when I saw the video, I just said yes. It was a yes.
Sally, how did you connect then? How did you connect with Wendy again?
Well, I'm a dancer. I've been performing for about 30 years as an interpretive dancer and teaching and as a choreographer. And Wendy and I have known each other for about 15 years, I believe. And when she showed me the Break the Chain dance that's on the 1 Billion Rising site, I was stunned by the collective consciousness that I saw with these young women that were standing and rising and moving. And as a dancer, as an artist, I am not an activist, but something happened when Wendy showed me that dance video for Break the Chain, and I thought, okay, it's time to take the blinders off. It's time to take a stand. I'm a dancer, I can do this. And I thought about, what am I standing for? Because I'm not a real fan of beating the drum of no more this. I thought, how can I stand in the presence of what I want to happen? What's the positive version of standing in support of this effort?
That's a very good point, Sally, because when you said that, it makes me think to ask, you're not a fan of standing no more this. Obviously, and we all get on those bandwagons. We think in those terms, but no more this makes it a negative. You're bringing into a positive feel. Is this what I'm picking up?
Well, I think that's it. There's one, we refer to the 1 Billion Rising site because that's the international site, and there's many videos that are inspiring on there. But the idea of dance is healthy, it's expressive, it's movement, and this is a day to really raise awareness. For example, the Violence Against Women Act has not been renewed by Congress in this country. They've been fighting over it for a year now. That's a simple act that started in, I think, 1994, that has just been renewed, and this year they're fighting over it. And in raising awareness, it's how we expect us to treat each other. And let's be clear, this isn't just women rising.
I'm so glad you said that. You're reading my mind. Obviously, we are talking about that right this second, but it's violence, period. Is it not, Mindy and ladies?
Yes. It is, absolutely. And in changing that, I mean, the goal of the V-Day organization is to stop violence against women and girls. Right. But it's violence, period, because everybody is impacted by that. Men are just as impacted by that. It has been extraordinary, the different people around the world, from members of the EU Parliament to different mayors to different organizations, from kindergartners in the Philippines on up. It's really going to be an extraordinary day.
Robert Redford was another one. Lily Tomlin. There's been a lot of. Sally Field wrote a piece. They've had a video on the 1billionrising.org website that shows each of them saying, I rise, and it's just, wow, there's so much power in that, saying yes to a world where people can be safe and free. And
I like
even
that,
the
saying
lyrics.
yes to the safe world instead of just beating the drum no to the violence. This is what Mayor of Philadelphia had to say about 1 Billion Rising and violence against women. We're going to hear that in just a second. We have just a little bit of problem with the video. This is what the mayor of Philadelphia had to say. Let's take a listen.
Be raped, beaten, or sexually abused in her lifetime. That's more than 1 billion women. I'm Mayor Michael Nutter, and I'm joining the 1 Billion Rising movement to end violence against women and girls. I'm rising up because I'm a husband, a father, a brother, and a son, and because everyone deserves to be safe and respected. This Valentine's Day, we're calling on all men and women worldwide to come together and say enough is enough. Philadelphians can get involved and become one of 1 billion on February 14th, 2013 at 2:14 p.m. at Philadelphia's Love Park. Join Women's Way, our city's leading organization for women and girls, and they're going to rise up and dance to protect our mothers, our daughters, our grandmothers, our aunts, our nieces, and all of our friends, and protect them from violence.
Mayor of Philadelphia talking about 1 billion rising in violence. Sedona, of course, Philadelphia, around the globe this is happening, not just Sedona, many areas.
Well, and that's the thing that's extraordinary when you think about on February 14th at different times, like ours is from 3 through to 5, you can still go out for Valentine's dinner, that you literally have men, women, children from all over the world dancing as a way of raising awareness and honoring that. And I just, real quickly, as an aside, want to say, because we were talking about the segment after ours, we tend to think in northern Arizona this doesn't happen here. And for instance, the statistic in the Verde Valley was between January 1st and September 30th of 2012, there were 900 domestic violence calls. That's the Sedona area. That means it's 100 a month, and you think of all the calls that weren't made.
On the website 1 Billion Rising, we can find the link to the dance.
Yes.
We can also find the link to a man's prayer. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, that we have playing in the background here. And if you put in your address, your zip code, there are, for example, in the state of Arizona, there's like 7 different risings in Phoenix. There's 1 in Prescott. There's 1 in Tucson. There's 2 in Flagstaff. We have 1 in Sedona. There's lots of ways that people can participate, and it's truly going to be an amazing day.
When I went to the site and saw the man's prayer, I was so taken by the words.
It's
powerful.
It's so powerful. I mean, it brings tears to your eyes when you listen to that and hear and read the words that are being said. And again, we want people to be at the Sedona Red Rock High School, 3:30 p.m. Again, that's Sedona, but around the state.
There's, if you can't come to Sedona, there's lots of different opportunities for you to participate. If you put your zip code in online, you'll find them. You can still start one in your area. I have a friend in England who's been watching what we're doing and is starting one in a different place in England because there's not one close.
In Rotterdam.
Really?
Yeah,
all over. In fact, on the V-Day Sedona Facebook page, we have a man from Kenya commenting now about the different videos. Like we have a video of Sally was at the high school yesterday, and she actually taught the choreographed dance to 60 kids, boys and girls, that are going to be participating in this.
And it's ages so far from ages 11 to 75. So it's not about having any dance skill level. It's about standing and rising and having this opportunity to move and take a stand.
To make a difference, and we have about 30 seconds left, ladies. We hear the words so often, take a stand, and I agree with those words. But what do we mean by taking a stand, ladies? What do we mean by
saying
those words?
Saying what you rise for, what you are for, like we said. And actually at the beginning of each of our rehearsals, for the dance, we have people rise up. Each person writes down why they're rising, how maybe they've been touched in their lives by violence, and say, what are you rising for? So yesterday somebody came in and she cried and she said, I'm rising for me and for all the women who were like me that have been in painful, abusive situations, and I'm rising because I feel I'm ready.
Thank you, ladies. Yeah. The topic continues. It's Stop the Violence is what we're talking about today. Brandon Bonney and James Tobin up next, Prescott Valley Police Department. You stay right there.